Buck Rogers. It's got everything in it, every ingredient. George made a movie that he wanted to see, not a movie that he thought the public would want to see, because if he thought that if he'd made a movie like that, we would be seeing a disaster film again or something like that, probably.
A touch of the Flash Gordons as well in this.
It's got whatever you want it to be. It's a pure entertainment. It's like a roller coaster ride, and it can be interpreted as long as you enjoy it, which is the intention of it.
Luke would never say that. I'm sorry. Well, in this version, see, I'm talking about the George Lucas Star Wars. This is the next generation of Star Wars. So I almost had to think of Luke as another character. Maybe he's Jake Skywalker. He's not my Luke Skywalker.
Something that George initially set out to do was a kind of 3-act saga with these 3 trilogies, and I think we felt that we should honor and respect that.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
He's not my Luke Skywalker. I said to Ryan, I said, Jedis don't give up. I mean, even if he had a problem, he would maybe take a year to try and regroup. But if he made a mistake, he would try and right that wrong. So right there, we had a fundamental difference.
I think that the thing that George never did was maintain the status quo. And I think that that's really important because...
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you!
Who is this guy? How did the most optimistic, hopeful character in the galaxy turn into this hermit who says it's time for the Jedi to end? I read that and I said, what? I mean, that's not what a Jedi does. I mean, a Jedi is optimistic. A Jedi has tenacity. He never gives up. He doesn't secrete himself on an island. But you'll...
He did. He wrote the script, which I'm sure a lot of people don't necessarily realize.
You just want to say, fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Fuck, 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 fuck. Fuck you, fuck you.
What's up, all my UX shows, droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as Star Wars Girl, and welcome to my art channel. And I am joined by the 2 most awesome people ever, Jessi and Jeff.
Hello, everyone. Everybody. Welcome into the show.
We're excited. Hello. So, guys, tonight we are going to be talking about this collaboration that we 3 did, which was like art and comics and all of this cool stuff. So, it's Stealing Solo, the Phantom Menace edition. So this is live over on Indiegogo. The cover, it's a variant cover of Stealing Solo done by yours truly. So I just figured it would be cool to do a little stream talking about the art side of this and how this idea came to be and the origins of this whole thing. So Jeff, want to tell us, because this was all your idea.
So the idea for the story, the comic, came up on the podcast years ago, but the idea for this cover was born at Star Wars Celebration, actually at the parking garage of whatever the name of the mall is. We were out at... You're trying to get out of the picture?
No, I'm just being the cover.
Oh, you're being the cover?
No, I'm trying to like get it so that way there's you, but I don't want me in it. I want the cover to be.
Here, if you do that again, I can lean this way and not look weird. Or I can just.
I don't think I can do it, so we'll just do that. No, it was. Remember, we went out to like the Brazilian. We talked a little bit about it at the first bar in Chicago before we went to the Chinese restaurant. Like you said, let's work together on something. I was like, totally. And then the last night, we all went to dinner at the Brazilian steakhouse, and it was in the parking lot there.
Yep, we were at Fogo de Chao. And it was funny because I've told this story a couple times on shows, but it was us and then a couple others. I think Kendo and Dion were still there and late. But the thing is, we were all we didn't want to leave. We were all having such a good time talking. Like that weekend had really helped us connect. And we're like, all right, cool. And we just didn't want to go. But this cover kept coming up like, hey, we'll talk about it, we'll work on it. And so that's where the genesis comes from all the way back then. And now here we are.
Yeah. And Jeff, because I remember the first couple of sketches you sent me, it was like, us, like basically everyone that was on this cover except for Tom. Tom got added in later. Tom was the only one that was like an honorary add-in a little bit later on because I think Tom found out about it. And then it was like, oh, we feel bad because Tom is now a member of the High Council. And it's like, we got to add Tom in there, But so when you sent me over sketches, it was, I just remember Jessi was really big in front. And I'm like, oh, I wonder why.
Well,
Jeff likes drawing Jessi.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
I know, guilty as charged. But it really wasn't the Return of the Jedi theme in the beginning. That's why some of the elements come together a little later when you get involved, because it was a Fandom Menace cover. That's really kind of the only idea. And it was like originally going to be the Return of the Jedi style where everyone just looks like themselves. But then you got involved and it got themed and it got amazing. And now,
Holocron Library Talks is right. Tom's everywhere anyway.
Yeah,
so
Tom's everywhere anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It made sense. It made sense to have Tom in there. But so...
Yeah. Of course he found his way there.
Well, when me and you started talking, because it was just plain line art and I like color. So I was like, okay, so originally we were looking at this concept, which I think you can see very, very much. So it was inspired by that. And so the original sketches that Jeff sent me that I couldn't get to load via Z Photoshops because it was just too blurry because I didn't have a saved copy. So technical error on my effort. Something always goes wrong before these stream starts. But so it was a little bit of a different layout. And obviously, there's Lando here. There's a couple different characters, but where it's like, what really do we want to see and what will look as cool as possible? So that was when Jessi was originally in like her Mindless Entertainment t-shirt. And I was like, no, why don't we make Jessi, like, let's keep it Return of the Jedi theme and get Jessi in a costume. I'm drawn as Slave Leia for Cecil's campaign, so we'll just keep me as Slave Leia. Like, get Ethan originally, had a pie, so it's like, let's make that pie look even more scrumptious. We obviously got Cecil the Hutt, get Jeremy in there. And then we were talking about...
Caesar there too, right?
Yeah, Ethan was originally Caesar. It was it was your idea to make him into the Emperor.
Yeah.
Pulling the strings behind the scenes the entire time. So
was that me?
That was you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been so long ago because this has been a huge work in progress for a while. I actually have a bit of I did some recordings of this, guys. So there's a video I'm going to play for you guys. There's no audio or anything. It's just me painting very quickly. So here we go. So you guys, I'll make this all big and you guys can watch this while we talk. But so I actually, when we were talking about it and going through, so this is obviously me painting Mauler. So originally you can see like the light from Jeremy's lightsaber would be green because, not only is it Geeks and Gamers, the color green, but then it's also Luke's in Return of the Jedi. And so originally I had this like a green and then I'm like that, it doesn't look right. And something was really bothering me about it. And so I was like, well, Mauler's thing is, red. He's got the red glowing eyes. So finally I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go with the way light actually would work here because this is, obviously the foreground and this is supposed to be the background. So I'm like, I'm just going to ignore science for a minute and just take our like creative liberties and then, make Mauler's eyes have that glowing red. So that way it kind of does show that difference in space. And so I did this a little bit differently, but I figured everyone would like to see like videos like this, like my little time-lapse videos.
I'm trying not to watch it and right now because I'm getting lost in watching it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys haven't even seen this one yet. I just realized, so I'll just continue to babbling on. Oh my gosh, call me Jeremy. Chat, how funny. Best voice cast. Ooh. Yeah, well, so this, I know a lot of people were asking why like certain people were on it and stuff, and it's like, well, this was just kind of how we all met, and so it's like the first people that all came together and talked. And yeah, there's been people around on YouTube, but I just remember that live stream on EFAP that was like you and Jeremy and, Mauler and Rags I can't remember if Wolf was there. I feel like he was, but the Toxic Brood video.
Yeah. See, And that's why the Return of the Jedi theme works so well too, because it's, the original, and plus thematically, this is the end of the original trilogy. What comes after the prequels? We have so many more people in the community that make content. That's why, one of the perks at the bottom, I said, I'll do a sequel to this with another Fandom Menace thing with everybody this time. So everyone feels, a part of the crew. But yeah, there's more than just, I like Star Wars. There's a lot of, like even every part of the book is actually kind of an homage to it as well, from the toy ads to all this other shit. So it's a lot of creativity behind the scenes and thought that goes into this. So it's beyond just, we like Star Wars.
And everyone, please smash the like button. I would sincerely appreciate it. To the 58 people that are watching, thank you so much. If you guys want to check out this cover, this is the first. So this is actually an oil painting. And I know when I did my Vampirella, everyone was like, we want you to do an oil painting. We don't want you to do digital art. And I'm like, but I wanted to do digital art, so I did what I wanted. But this is actually the first oil painting comic book cover I've ever done. So if you guys like collecting and you guys want first of things, this is a great way to get that. But the link for it is in the description of this video. I've also seen that a few of my mods have been posting it in here as well. So if you guys want to check it out. Jessi was kind of one of those editors that was sitting back that was just, kind of giving words of wisdom and advice and asking interesting questions. So Jessi, what was it like for you being a part of this?
It was really neat because it was really it was a true collaboration in that you each brought pieces and it was really fun to watch because you kept making each other's work better. And neither of you, that was the other really cool thing that's a huge testament to both of you as artists. Neither of you were precious about any of your ideas. So if there was something that, Anna suggested and Jeff was like, nah, this really kind of goes against my vision, really, it's not really what I was imagining and whatnot, you're like, all right, well, never mind. But then if there was something you came up with or moved some things around, it's like, oh, wow, that's really it. Then there was no point where Jeff was like, oh, it's got to be my way.
It's all about the end product. That's all I care about when it comes to projects like this.
And it was neat watching it go through some of the processes as well. Because originally it was sort of, the layout was one way and it looked nice, but then people kept getting at it was a lot of the additions, all right, well, we got to make room for these and that. And there were a whole bunch of different ideas too about who was about any extras that were going to be on to fill space. I remember the other guys was something that was floated at one point.
The WCBS guys.
Yeah. And then it was a whole oh, we have Cecil. And then, well, what if he had a salacious somebody, and who that was going to be was up in the air for whether or not that was going to happen. And so Tom became the perfect fit there. But I remember sort of with a lot of these additions and changes, and then it was Anna's idea to have Rags and Wolf fill the space up there as well with Mauler, which was all.
Well, we had Mauler, but then it was, so we actually asked everyone that's on this cover for permission to be on the cover. Yeah. So Jeff had talked to Mauler, or I talked to Mauler.
Yeah, you worked out the Mauler stuff. I talked last year on the High Council. Afterwards, I had Gary and Jeremy, and I talked to them, but they didn't know it was a Star Wars cover because that's how late the Star Wars theme was added. It was a Phantom Menace cover. So Jeremy sent me reference photos way back when. I had reference photos and stuff like that. So people were involved with this at an early stage. We just kind of 2020 happened. We kind of all went our own separate ways and didn't really talk as much. But this was an old, like I said, it's taken forever to get here, but it's here now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was talking to Jeff and Jessi about this before we went live, and I'm like, I was, editing these little time lapse videos, and I wanted to have more to show you guys. But I mean, you can tell the difference. See, remember I told you I got a new phone in the process, because I filmed these in my phone, and it's okay, look at the quality right here, and then wait for it. Look at maybe not right there with Ethan. Okay, look at the stars right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at the quality compared to that.
Yeah.
It's a whole other color.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
I know.
No.
I know, that's the difference between the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 8.
That's crazy.
A big difference. I'm like, gosh dang it, I wish I would have filmed the entire thing with this. But yeah, so with what I asked Smaller, and I was like, hey, would you be okay with this? And he's like, yeah, totally. And then I was like, it didn't look right without, because if you go back and you look at, let me see if I can find that video. In the very first time-lapse video that I did, which I think I sent it to you guys. Yeah, okay, I have part 1 right here. Let me get a link to it so I can pull it up. But so this was actually, guys, this was drawn by Jeff and painted by me. So here I have another video for you guys to watch. I think this one's a little bit longer. But so you can see how it's like all sketched out, but Wolf and Rags aren't there. Because we added them in later because I was like, it's too empty for me, because I did leave some empty space just in case for when Jeff signs things. So that way everyone would kind of have a space to be able to sign next to their name. Because I know that some people would want like everyone, if it is possible to meet everyone at one point to get them all signed. So that's why there is a big open space right here, like in between Jeremy and Cecil, and then over like me and Jessi right here. And then like Ethan, the bottom of it is obviously kind of darker to make room for the logo. But there is a reason for that. So that way, but I was like, oh my gosh, it's like, because in the original Return of the Jedi, there's, the spaceships, the Star Destroyers, because it's like the Empire behind Luke and Han and Leia. And so I'm like, well, it's the Toxic Brood and it's Mauler and Ephab. So why wouldn't I put Wolf and Rags there as like Force Ghost? So I reached out to Wolf and Rags, and I was actually very touched that Wolf responded, because I'm like, oh, with everything that happened with him and his difficulty and his struggle and wanting to like just say bye to the internet for good. I was really shocked that he was like, yeah, I'll totally be a part of it. And I was like, yay.
That's really nice. I'm really glad that it feels special. It feels even more special, that he's a part of it too. Cause it's like, it's a piece of a moment in time now in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and this like really captures the essence of like the beginning of the Fandom Menace, I feel like, because it was like all of us kind of doing our own thing, and then we all were like, oh hey, that person seems awesome. Let's all come together and work together and like do this whole collab together. Yeah. And so that's what it was really trying to capture. So if we do another one, after, if everyone is like more interested, because I've seen a lot of people say, oh, well, like what about this person? What about this person? And the people that I showed like before, I'm like, can you tell who this is? Can you tell who this is? And you can see where I was cold and my scarf got shot. But I was like, yeah, totally. Like if this is successful and people want more, like of course, the supply and demand right there.
Mm-hmm.
And here with I know you guys haven't seen this, so it's like first time for you guys, but me experimenting with different colors and different techniques, because so I'll kind of attempt to narrate this as it's playing, but when you look at stuff like with Drew Sturzen, and he did, the Star Wars poster. So when you look, my favorite one of his is actually Attack of the Clones. And you can see the way he does lens flares right, unlike J.J. Abrams, where he has the lens flares in there. So I was like, okay, how do I fill up the space like where me and Jessi are right here, like next to my head? And I actually had a lot of fun doing that and creating that illusion. And then I said this before when we did the launch, like I actually really enjoyed painting Jessi's leg, because you'll see in a minute where I like put the highlights right there on Jessi's leg, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is working. And it was when I was really getting into it. Yeah, we were Kale Mecca. Yeah.
Really
Mecca.
You're not alone, Anna.
What was that?
I said people get really into my legs all the time. You're not alone.
Oh yeah. Gotta add some extra spice to it. Yeah, and then Jessi was like, I need to have a gun, and I was like, you're my best friend, but I kind of hate you because I hate painting guns.
The thing is, you didn't say that at first at all. I was like, oh, I can have the Han Solo gun, and you're like, yeah, sure. And then like you started to get into it, and you're like, I fucking hate painting guns. And I was like, oh my god, if I had known how much you hated this, I would not have said anything in the first place.
Well, it actually didn't take me very long. So I had to brush up on some techniques that I haven't used, because I usually try to just paint portraits, because that's what I enjoy doing. And so I looked at a couple old tutorials that I had from college from my professors and stuff. And so I decided to go with more of a minimalistic approach to it, where I just put like the highlights on it, and it still has that same effect, and it doesn't take away from the details in your face, as you'll see. And I use different techniques to all of us. Like when I do get to Jeff, I'm not sure if it's in this video, but there's your leg. See?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was fun painting the highlights on it.
That is really cool how it comes together, and that shape. So the shapes start to pop. Yeah.
The thing I love about this is it's like I use this like the movie poster storybook quality. Like Cecil the Hutt looks like you would want Cecil the Hutt to look like.
Yeah.
My Cecil the Hutt is a nightmare. I love Cecil the Hutt so much because it's pure, it's funny, it's hello. Mine is like what would be like if you really met Cecil. A nightmare.
A nightmare. A nightmare come true.
Well, I think I like to idealize things because you guys know me, I'm super anal about the way I look in photos and stuff. And I'm like, oh no, if it's not a perfect photo, I'm like, delete it, delete it, delete it. But so when I paint people, I'm just like, why would I paint somebody to look as terrible as possible? So I always try to make people look the best version of themselves that they could be.
Yeah.
And so that's just my own personal aesthetics to when I do things. And you do the opposite. You're like, no, make Cecil fucking gross.
I mean, I read the email on the High Council this week. I was like, please make him gross.
That was hilarious. Oh my god.
Make him as gross as possible. So this is the part where I really get into
Have you ever heard
painting
Cecil
Jeff's face.
speechless before?
What?
Have you ever heard Cecil speechless like that before?
Maybe when he was like hammered about something.
He didn't even see him out. Like it was almost too disgusting for the real Cecil.
Yeah,
He was just like, what?
It was amazing.
well, now Anna, everybody gets a magnet of Cecil the Hutt. So
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were going. I remember I saw your text after we had already gone live for the Jack show. And then I was like, oh, and so that was another thing that I was able to talk about. I was like, oh yeah, everyone's going to get a Cecil the Hutt magnet. And you can see right here when Gary, I changed the color of the background because I was trying, when you're doing something like this, when you don't have like exact photo reference and you're kind of making certain things up as you go along, like obviously the colors in the background, that I didn't have photo reference for that. So I was just using my own creative leverage there. And so I was like, I was trying to balance it out. And so that's why certain things are certain colors. I know a lot of people were asking about that. I'm like, no, you got to make it work to the best that it can be, but also you got to make it look pretty. And then let's see what's going on. Oh yeah, Ethan. Honestly, Ethan was like the easiest one to paint on this entire thing.
Looks wonderful. Like when you sent me that picture, I have a little cutout of just that. I used to look at that part when you were anywhere near done. You're like, this is what I have so far. I'd look at that and go, this cover is going to be amazing. Like, didn't I? I pulled that picture out and would look at it all the time. Like, boom, this is going to work. Like all of it.
I'm happy it did. I honestly, with all of it, I'm happy with the way that it turned out. And you see how it's like I constantly keep going over things because I totally forgot that Wicked had ears popping out. And so I had to add ears to Gary and all that. And I feel terrible. I didn't know that Gary didn't like Ewoks.
Nor did I.
Yeah, apparently that won't do that.
So we learned that after once Gary saw it, and he's just like, yay, an Ewok. And I'm like, I am so sorry.
It was cute because he still seemed like he was happy to be on the cover.
Oh, did you hear what he said?
Like, oh yeah. No.
After everyone, like the joke wore off quickly, and he goes, you know what though? I'm really happy to be on it. I'm proud, blah, blah, blah. Like on the High Council, it was a really cool moment. Everybody got involved and it felt like the way things used to be.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about this cover, this campaign. It's like, hey guys, you all missed how things used to be. Let's make it like they used to be. There's no reason why it can't be.
Exactly.
So Jeff, there's an interesting question. So it says, what does stealing solo mean?
So the comic here, scroll down a little, Anna, because there's some pages of the actual comic. So it's the guys from WCBS. And it's a parody comic where we kidnap Harrison Ford and remake The Force Awakens in our basement. And shit goes down. It does not end well for anyone involved. But I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh, thank you, Caleb. Yeah, so
Thank you, Caleb.
what I've noticed, because I didn't know what a variant or like what all of that meant until I really got involved with Comicsgate. And so, guys, this is a finished graphic novel, and I think it's still inside because I thought I brought it out here, but I guess I'm just failing at everything.
I got an extra one right here.
Oh, there you go. So this is actually, want to hold it up, Jeff? So
Yeah.
this is a finished graphic novel that's over 100 pages. The artwork is all done. So this is a second printing of this book. And so this is this exact same book. All of the art in it is done by Jeff.
Mhm.
I am just doing the variant cover. So this is the second printing of this book. So that is what it means. Stealing Solo was Jeff's, comic or Jeff's graphic novel book. And then this is, again, the second printing of it.
And yeah, well, now the thing is, this book is going to be bigger because I've updated things. This isn't just like, oh, we got a new cover. It's the same book. This version's 92 pages. The new one's going to be 110 minimum because we need sections for the trading card art for autographs and all this extra bonus shit. This is like a celebration of everything that we could put into one physical item. Now, this is the old one. You can get it at the higher tiers if you're one of these completist collectors like I am. But yeah, this new version there's a ton of new shit in there that, like me, I have my John Romita collections of Spider-Man. I have Amazing Spider-Man 73 how many different times.
Yeah.
But each collection adds new to make me go, oh, I like this story. I'll read it again and then get excited. So as a comic book guy, I make each one worth your time. I like the story. I'm proud of the story. I love it. But all the collectible and add-on shit in this edition is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can go kind of through the tiers. And guys, I'll do another video on this or a live stream on this over on, oh God, there we go. There's Cecil, if everyone was wondering.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love Cecil. That's such a fucking great piece of art. Oh my God. You really captured the real Cecil in it too. Like I can hear his voice.
So that was the first thing I drew for the cover was Cecil the Hutt. Because the way it worked, Anna, was I took the Return of the Jedi layout and I sketched it out, like the rough outline of where each figure was. But when I got Cecil the Hutt, I went, oh. And I just started drawing it right away. I didn't even this is like the first attempt. I just sat down and it came to me right away.
Holocron Library Fox makes a good point. The book is normal size. It's just Jeff's hands that are gigantic.
Yeah, this is like, it's
normal comic book size.
Here's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like in my hands for reference.
There you go. Hold up a ruler.
And, it's a nice, hefty book too, in terms of like quality.
The page quality is really nice.
I know people don't like the big two these days, but this is the same quality book that you get from. I went to the place that prints DC's books, so
Oh, so do a lot of CG people though.
Yeah, it's great though. That's the thing. Like we now have access, thanks to the internet. We all have access to the same level of production that the big companies have. What can't you do anymore? It's look, power's in our hands. We control this now. So
yeah. Well, as I sneak in a snack right there. I like how Ethan's just behind him. You took the section of the thing. Actually, Jeff, you want to know something fun? So up here on the painting, I was, because obviously you're in the spot of Han Solo, but you're in your bathrobe from the thing.
Yeah.
I tried painting your hand and the gun exactly the way Han Solo's was in the painting, just as a little Easter egg for you.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I noticed the way you did the lens flare with the cross on the scope. Just the light. First, I noticed that right away.
I changed it slightly. So some people are in different costumes and different things because this is a parody. I know some people were saying, oh, copyright. And I don't think a lot of people, which is fine if you don't have to deal with this on a daily basis, you probably don't know. So copyright rules for fan art got lifted back in December. It started in December 2012, and I think it was officiated in January 2013. And so if you do fan art, that's completely legal. But if a company sees your idea and likes it, they don't owe you anything. So I've explained this a little bit. When they came out with, when was the last Ninja Turtle or like the reboot Ninja Turtles movie? Was that 2015?
Yeah, like 2014, I think is when it was on.
2014. So all of the artwork and concept art for the Ninja Turtles was actually ripped off. That was somebody's fan art. And they completely designed the Ninja Turtles in that 2014 movie off of somebody's fan art. And the guy can't do anything about it because it was fan art. So that's one of the downsides about fan art. So actually the Star Wars Battlefront 2, one of the covers of it was completely ripped off of one of my teachers in college. Like the design of Luke Skywalker looking up at the AT-AT with the smoke and stuff. The design that they did for Battlefront 2 was completely ripped. The design is literally my teacher's design that he had done like back in 2011, and they ripped it off for the Battlefront game. And so that's one thing. But so for this, because it's a parody, because I know some people are like, isn't Solo like a thing? And I'm like, well, no, technically Solo is a word that you can't trademark, just kind of like the rebellion is a word.
Free Solo. I mean, that movie Free Solo, one of the category words, it's about people free solo climbing.
Solo literally means
just means alone.
Alone. I mean,
you learned that.
I know.
If you saw the movie Solo, a Star Wars story, you would learn that because they taught you awesome things like Solo, I'm alone.
Mm-hmm. I know. Some people, though, they aren't aware of these kind of things.
You know what's funny, Anna? If assuming that, people on the internet are as honest as they claim they are, we actually have proof positive that this passes muster under parody laws, because I was just tootling around the internet and found somebody made a video some year ago or whatnot going, I submitted this Stealing Solo book to Lucasfilm's legal department. Yeah. And a whole bunch of people were jumping in the comments being like, I did the same thing. Yeah. So if these people actually did that, then Lucasfilm's legal department has theoretically had the opportunity to review Stealing Solo and therefore knows that it does not infringe upon any copyright.
Here's the shit at the end of the day. I've had a lawyer since I wrote the goddamn story, and he's still my lawyer, and he's still my friend.
That's true.
I have. That's it. That's the end of it. It's called the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, parody law. Everything. Look at Mad Magazine. They don't fucking call up. Hey, can we? Well, no, it just shows up in Mad Magazine, and it's a joke.
Damn straight.
So,
Well,
believe me, there's a sequel to this. It's another parody. It parodies The Last Jedi and that round-headed fool and everybody involved. So. You know, I like parody. That's what Wokebusters is.
Well, also, as like some people were talking, because I did explain, I'm like, oh yeah, this is inspired by, which again is it's completely illegal to do artwork that's inspired by something like this, but obviously it was changed enough because originally, actually, Cecil the Hut was over here at some point, and then it was actually pretty different because I think I had at one point or you had it where it was like you, Jeremy, and Ethan like across, and then all of us were kind of smaller, and then we switched it back and forth, and then finally I'm like, all right, we'll just do like the middle, which is usually not a good idea. Usually the only time you have people that are centered in a composition is if it's like the Queen, but you usually, or if you're Wes Anderson, you have everything centered, but so usually you want to avoid that, but I tried to do it enough balance so that way it's a triangle, so it's like the Holy Trinity in a way.
Because because that was what I said. One of the iterations when sort of more things got added and moved around, it was like it ended up looking weird where it was like the three of them and then everyone's kind of like in a line, and that was sort of an amalgamation of, it was like nobody's idea, but it just come out that way, and I think everyone was looking at that going like, this doesn't quite look right. And then I remember when you shot back, you're like, hey, I moved some things around. Let me know if you hate it. I'll totally go back to the old way. And you sent it to us, and we were like, and Jeff immediately was like, oh my god, there it is. It was like. Right.
Yeah, so this is one of those things, like, whenever I'm getting canceled on Twitter and you're like, Ree, how dare you paint over somebody's thing or do something that's so disrespectful? I'm like, you've never had a real job and you've never worked with other people, because, I mean...
Yeah, I sat there when Anna painted over a couple things while you guys were working, like, moving things around, and there were no tears. There was no reading.
No, because it's like... That's what I think that they don't understand, is your goal as an artist is that you want to accomplish the best final product that you could possibly make, and that's what me and Jeff were both doing. If you're just going to get your feelings hurt, it's like I'm not throwing a temper tantrum because I'm not the biggest one on the page. If anything, I'm like, I probably should have made myself smaller, but because I'm in front of you, I needed to show that distance, and I purposely put Jeff and Jessi together because, I mean, obviously. There you go.
I gotta say, I mean, you guys even let me give input. I don't know jack shit about art. And
but you gotta.
Thing is, you asked for my input, and when I gave, like, there were some things like you guys even took a couple of my little suggestions here and there of, oh, try this to fit when you guys were stumped on how do we fix this.
Fresh eyes. Look, like I say, folks, this is all about the end product. I don't care if it's this or that or whoever came up with the award-winning idea or the final idea. It's the image. That's what matters.
Well, I just felt really special because, like, Jeff is teaching me a little bit about how to draw, and I'm like lucky if I put together a figure that has the right proportioned limbs. And I'm sitting here, they're just like letting me, like, what do you think? And they're just letting me be part of this process. And it was really
I think one of the ones that was like the most collabing on as far as the design was actually Mecca, because
I remember that.
Because Jeff had her like just drawn like her, and then because originally even Jessi was drawn in like just the t-shirt and jeans, and I was like, I think it would look better aesthetically as if we all like to make us all fit and look like we're in the same universe as make us all Star Wars, but obviously we all have like certain trademarked looks, and so Jeremy's in his hat. Jeff, I mean, usually you're not on camera, so it's not as, okay, this is Jeff's iconic look, but I think we had to focus on you from the comic. So it's like, there you go. Cecil, Ethan, Jeremy, obviously, you see them and you're like, exactly who that is. And Jessi, your hair is obviously very iconic. Yeah, I'm like, me and the Slave Leia, that's a joke from the Jack show. So that just fit together. But with Mecca, it was like, you had her drawn, and then we were like, I remember we were really working on it. And then we did different renditions of her, or at least you drew different renditions of her because it's like, well, let's keep it Return of the Jedi theme. So what was it in the original, like in the original trilogy? And so it's like, okay, well, Cecil the Hutt, and then when we change Jessie's costume from her outfit to the costume, it's like, I can't remember what the character's name is, Jeff, you probably know, but the chick that Boba Fett goes like this too, with the crazy hair.
I looked her up because they're special edition characters.
Yeah.
There's 3. There's the Rhodian, the Asian, lady, and then the red one.
Yeah.
And Mecca is an amalgamation. Jessi and Mecca are both amalgamations of the red-haired lady.
Yeah.
Because the green Twi'lek is too iconic. Plus, she's dead.
Yeah.
And then the other one,
Olga, yeah.
Yeah.
Ula.
And then the other one is really just a nobody special edition, like white Twi'lek instead of a green one. So like, I figured why not take the coolest element because Mecca's got
she's got the red hair. I remember that being part of the thing. It's like, well, make her the Twi'lek because there is a Twi'leks are a thing in Return of the Jedi, but give her the red thing because it's the red hair.
D. James Baker knows what Rystal or Ristal. That's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bristol. So yeah, and I originally had kind of sketched out. Well, Jessi has she has got like these spike ears. So instead of painting Jessi ears, I gave her those spikes. Yeah. And then originally she was kind of like the other, because I know Ola died, but Ola, I gave Ola, the other one didn't have the little ear spike things. And she also had like a little bit of a different thing. And then I think I tried painting it and it just wasn't working. And so I went to this and I'm like, okay, well, also the spike thing is for her glasses to sit on because, she's got to have something like that. And then I thought this Ola's headpiece was cooler. And so Mecca just became just a mix of the best elements of each.
Rezakai says, I actually didn't know this. Rezakai says Ristal is in Return of the Jedi, but she's also in Revenge of the Sith at the opera too. I didn't know that.
Nor did I.
Let me Google that.
If that is true, then she's a lot older than she looks in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Good for her. I mean,
cool
alien genes.
Here's the thing about real life genes. Ula is the same lady in the special edition and in the original cut. They got her to come back, and you can't tell she's in better shape.
I didn't know that. God damn.
The shit down in the pit.
Wow.
That's all added in. Like you can't tell. That's how good she looked.
No, I never can because that was the one I've seen the least. But in the times I've watched the special edition Return of the Jedi, I've never noticed that for a single second.
Yeah.
It's not up on here. It for whatever reason, obviously, it wants me to do Crystal, but so it's Ristal is in Revenge of the Sith opera. Okay.
Well, if you do Ristal Wikipedia, she should come up. Let's see.
Oh no, it's got a circle of her in the background, but I can't see it very well. I know that George Lucas is in that scene. Like they walk right past George, but I don't remember. Let me open image in new tab and zoom in. No, those are wrong. Oh well.
I like how we broke the stream. We're like, oh, we gotta find out.
I don't know. We gotta find it. Somebody, if anyone here is on Twitter, find the picture and tag me on Twitter, and I'll pull it up.
Ristal Sant or Sant. There we go. That's her name.
Wait, what's her last name?
Sant. Sant or Sant. I don't know.
I like the name Ristal.
Ristal.
I like how we all are just Googling this.
Human feeling hybrid singer and dancer.
Oh yeah, she is. I see her.
So Anna,
I see like with George, because that George Lucas is right there, and so is his daughter. Yeah, she's here. I'll pull it over.
Oh, there she is.
She's right here. You see?
Oh shit! No way. There she is.
So for the other colorist who did the trading cards, I sent him the pictures of the action figure. That's like the reference he got.
That's awesome.
That's that I was kind of looking at that, and then scenes from Return of the Jedi. But I thought all of us, we all have something special about us. And Ethan, for a while, was just this black blob. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously there's this light behind me that's highlighting me and Jessi. So that would obviously reflect on Ethan to pull it in. And then Gary has this. I tried doing a more yellowish green because, Nerdrotic is the yellow, to kind of highlight him and add that little bit of, alienness. Because I feel like green, you kind of think of aliens and stuff, at least, or maybe that's just me. Because
I think you did a great job down there because there's a lot of Return of the Jedi imagery that has been made post the movie. Like we're talking, the DVD artwork is very much that green burst effect. So you really captured that there. I don't even know if you intended that, but that looks just like the home video release and shit. So,
maybe I subconsciously did it, but not. I was just kind of messing with colors, and so was back before I changed Mahler's eyes to red. But I was trying to think of balance and how if I made it more of, because obviously this is all very blue up here, so I'm like, okay, well if it fades up to a cooler color, then the bottom has to be kind of warm and has that, transition. And the main transition is obviously right here in your face. So I was like, okay, I have to balance out the bottom. So that was kind of more of my thought process with that. But I don't know, maybe I was subconsciously doing it for that. Exozone with Gary and the alien. There you go. You go. Could have.
It looks wonderful though. Like, I'm not going to sit here and spend the whole stream saying, "Man, that looks so great," because you already know that. But like, it's so cool that we're here at this stage in it. People are excited. It's only been under a week, and it's already doing incredibly well. So I mean,
5 days.
We were almost 70% of the fucking goal in 5 days.
Yeah.
And the thing is, folks, I have all kinds of perks and tiers, and I decided with these magnets, because I found where to get them made, that every 100 will do a new magnet will be thrown in, because they're not. For my end, I took care of everything, but like everybody loves these magnets. Everybody loves the trading cards. Like, we got these fun things. I've actually thought too, Jessi, if this moves enough, I know there's another level that you can unlock. I'll tell you off air. But yeah.
Dang. That's exciting.
Well, when I finish something, I hate everything I do. And so it's like, I have to, because I'm just like, I finally fucking finished this thing that's been the bane of my existence it was for months, Oh, thank you, Shiny. And it's nice to see you here. Thank you. I saw, he was actually on a stream over, I think it was on Commie Mark's channel, where they were trying to like do, they had people on to guess who was the most influential member of the Fandom Menace. I won, by the way. On Twitter. And I'm like, well, that makes sense, because I think out of the Fandom Menace, I have the biggest following, and I'm also fighting with people like every day on Twitter. So I'm like, when it comes to that, I'm like, all right, well, it's my Twitter following. It's not the same as my YouTube. So, I mean, I think people just enjoy watching the shit show that is my Twitter feed. But so I saw, and he was asking questions about like what Stealing Solo was and stuff. So Shiny, Stealing Solo is Jeff's graphic novel, and I just did a variant cover for it. So it's the second printing. The book is completely done. And so, Jeff, I actually don't know the answer to this, but once the campaign is over, are you leaving it in demand, or are you just ending it altogether?
I think I'm going to leave it, or no, I'm sorry. I think I'm just going to close it and get it to people as quick as possible. I don't really know what the in-demand thing is. If there's that much demand for this shit, we can change it up again and do something if there's that much demand. But
because isn't it in demand? You can leave it up like that, and it's just basically it's like having a store.
You could do what Cecil did and just leave up cash grab for like 2 fucking years and just continue to make money on it.
That's fair.
I mean, I put it like this. If that's a thing, cool. But the way it works is when it closes within 90 days, it'll be shipped out and shipped, because we have a lot of stuff planned this year, and I want to get as many projects out there into the world. I'm really excited. If you could scroll down for a minute, Anna, to show the High Council cover that I did, because I did a secondary cover for the campaign too, but it was a day one exclusive. You can get it.
Which I bugged him about. He wasn't going to do it, and I yelled at him.
Again, Anna. I mean, we worked on this together. This is a collaborative project. So. But yeah, that was the day one exclusive. That was the one. You talk about putting time in guns. How many hours did I spend drawing that fucking pistol in my hand?
I remember how excited you were when it was done.
Yeah,
like, it's done. I finished the pistol.
Because I used all these.
The gun looks great. And then I know this is the black and white cover, but when Jeff sent it to me, I don't think I had sent you guys in, because for a while I just like didn't send you guys pictures, because I used to like update Jeff every day, and then I'm like, this part is taking me forever, so I'm like, I'm gonna wait until it's like something I'm proud of to send. And so Jeff hadn't seen that I had added in like the stars in the background. And when Jeff sent me this from the colorist, I'm like, oh my god, this colorist and I have not talked. The colorist has not seen my work, and he did a background that matches my background. So how awesome is that?
It was that blew me away, because the first colorist I had on this cover, it wasn't good enough. I sent it to Jessi. I was like, this isn't right.
Oh yeah.
And then the other guy, because I had commissioned 2 guys at once, or got commissioned, I got 2 guys to do it, and then the other guy, boom, and this is what you got. Like this isn't a black and white variant. This is just black and white because you can't buy it anymore. It's like here.
Let me see if I can pull it up without doc. Oh, you can kind of see it right here. So if you guys go and click on it, you'll be able to.
You can go into the World Class Bullshitters community tab. I have a pretty good picture of it there too. So if you're really interested to see that, that was a callback to the Avengers #4, which is one of my favorite comic book covers of all time. That's why Cecil's where he is, because in the original cover, it's Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man, and the Wasp. And in the picture where Cecil is, it's the Submariner. It's also featured in this issue. And I thought, I love comics from every era, but I want to celebrate my favorite eras as well as create new stuff. So I thought, it's a nice little callback.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going to be the cover title was going to be something different, but just like it should be Rides Again. Because remember, I was copying one to one from the cover. I was like, no, it's got to be from the Avengers cover. Everyone will get it. Yeah. And I'm like, no, your way it just sounds more natural.
Yeah. You should do I see somebody saying they want a magnet of this. You should do a magnet of this, like the color one.
Fine. You know what I'll do? I'll change when I get to the. I'll throw a Cecil magnet tier on there. That specific image, I'll get that.
No, I meant this whole one, like the whole High Council cover.
Oh, I could that. That'll be that's gonna be. Well, the thing is, when we hit our stretch goal, it'll be a sticker, but I can make it a magnet. It'll just have to be like after everybody else gets a magnet, you know. Yeah. That'll be a stretch goal. It'd be fun.
Guys, if you want to back this, if you haven't already, let me put the link is in the description, but let me put the link in the chat.
Josiah L was talking about a Cecil magnet with that image. As in, do you mean that one on the picture here or the gross? Because you was talking about the other one from before. The Cecil the Hut one is already a magnet that everyone's getting.
Yeah, that's already past that.
That already hit a goal. So, but
if that little green, the Cecil in the corner cover is what people would like as a magnet, that could be something too.
Yeah.
There was saying, I want the Cecil magnet. Well, hey, if you back now, you're going to get a Cecil the Hut magnet.
And you can get Cecil trading cards.
There you go. Yeah, so what else were we talking about when it came? I didn't even look at this gun as intensely as I am now because I didn't know it took you that long of a time to draw it. It looks great. I like to give Ethan more hair.
Well, we always like to... Well, first off, I looked at pictures of like Caesar, like statues of him, like the Roman hair. I was like, that's kind of how they draw that Roman hairstyle.
Yeah.
I didn't do the Caesar haircut because I think it would look really weird.
Yeah.
But I like,
You should make that. It just sounds like he does like that image of Cecil. You should just throw that in somewhere as like a super secret unlock that people have to figure out how to unlock it, and then you'll throw it.
You know what I do? I can isolate that artwork and make that happen.
Yeah.
There you go.
You just have to listen to the show and find out how to unlock it.
Something nice of Cecil and something gross of Cecil.
You have to work harder to get the nice Cecil thing, because it's way more unrealistic.
There you go.
And actually, if you put that out there, maybe Cecil will pimp this project harder, so that because he has to make sure if everyone's already getting the gross Cecil art, he has to make sure people also get the nice Cecil art.
Yeah, we can make him. We can pick up his image for the public, clean it up if you will.
Exactly for the later.
I know, Super Chat. So this is my art channel. So this channel is not monetized yet. That's actually kind of why I wanted to do a stream on this channel, is to get the watch hours up, because you need like 4,000 watch hours, and I clearly don't have enough videos or content on this channel. And so I'm actually once I finish editing all of this, obviously this here I'll play it from the beginning. But so I recorded myself painting this whole project. And so there's going to be a video of me painting and kind of, I haven't decided if I want to talk or have music playing while this plays. But there'll obviously be, art lapse videos on this channel, just because I used to put art videos on my main channel, but then the algorithm's not made for that. So the views on it aren't that good compared to other videos. So I was like, let me just do a dedicated channel where it has all of my art videos. So those will be up, and hopefully that will help the watch hours. But I do have a link in the description to my Streamlabs, and you can do super chats through PayPal and leave a little message, and I'll be able to read that there. If you do, it's not required. This stream is just Jeff and Jessi were nice enough to come on to my little art channel to help me get my watch hours up and just to talk about this. It will be re-uploaded onto my live stream channel, so that way all of the information is there. But try and grow this.
Scratchpad makes a really good point. He says, Anna, there's a tiny mistake in the cover. Ethan wouldn't have just one pie.
You know, maybe that's why his cloak is so big, is because it's full of pies.
Actually, we can attest, though, when we were at Ethan's house, he had, what, 4 pies, on the top of the fridge and another one in it. There were 5 pies in his home.
Yeah, like it wasn't. He's as honest as you could imagine. Like the pies everywhere.
Were there.
And there's a lot of butter in his fridge.
Oh, there was butter.
and you go down to. Yeah, he's like, hey, play my piano, like that piano he plays in the thing. He's like, guys, play a song, get it on and ready for everybody. It was so nice. Cecil was there. It was my favorite day of 2019. No, it wasn't my favorite day of 2019. One of.
It was up there. That was a pretty
celebration. Some stuff in Columbus. August 3rd.
Oh, you guys are gross. Oh, hey, I have a see, look at how clear this part is with my
It looks incredible. It really is amazing how sharp it is. It really gives you and it really gives everyone a much better sense of the art they're going to be holding when this cover comes to them.
This is. I just re-uploaded this. Let me get this. Okay, can you do speed on this?
You used to be able to, yeah.
Playback speed ×2, because this is an 18-minute time lapse. This isn't as sped up as my other ones, but this is just kind of to show more of a process if anyone does want to watch it.
It's only he has no eyebrows. He has eyebrows in real life.
Yeah, he does have eyebrows, but so you can see, I actually like this version of Jeremy that I painted in the very beginning, but obviously I didn't paint it. So one of my hindrances as an artist is that I'm very impatient, and so I jump around. And so on these canvases that I got, so this is actually on a canvas. So for those of you that don't know, standard American comic book sizes is 11 by 17. Now, usually what I would have to do if I'm painting something that needs to be 11 by 17, I have to get a bigger canvas and then tape it off and then paint within that taped off portion. Then Target magically came out with 11 by 17 canvases. Now, if I were to get these canvases, they would be like at least like $70 to $100. Target was selling them in a 2-pack for $8. So I was like, I actually have a tower of these size canvases because I thought that I was going to projects with this one company and I had a lot of work lined up, and then it all went to shit. And so I knew that Jeff wanted this painting when I was done. So I'm like, I'm just going to paint it on this size canvas, but I had to prep the canvas in, because for those of you that don't know, if you want to get into the science of oil paintings, and one of the reasons why they do last a long time and at the same time why they don't last a long time is if you don't prep the canvas correctly. What does oil do? Oh my goodness, it will disintegrate the canvas after, many, many years. So I had to prep the canvas, but the stuff that you prep it with, which is called gesso, sometimes it makes your oil paints dry really fast, like acrylic, especially when you're putting down the first couple of layers. So what I wanted to do was I kind of wanted to block in certain shapes and get that down. So that way I could see colors, and that way I could work it all out as I went along. So the way that I painted Jeremy first was just supposed to be a flat base layer. And then I realized after I started painting Jeremy's face a few times that I liked the base layer better than any of the other versions that I painted it. But I was using bigger brushes. I actually had to go and find the smallest paintbrushes I could possibly find because, look, I have big hands, but just to show everyone reference, like this is a normal size pen. Right? So look at how a normal size pin next to Cecil, next to Mecca, next to all of them. So painting Jeff's face, it's like the tiniest little details, like look, compared to my finger, like my finger is bigger than Jeff's face, or like, the pad of my finger is bigger than Jeff's face. And then, so Jeremy, it was just all these tiny, teeny, tiny little details that when it's zoomed in like this, look big and normal. But when I'm painting it, I'm like with a magnifying glass looking and like, with little shreds of freaking, little hairs from paintbrushes, like a single strand of hair on a paintbrush and like doing all the little details. So my eyesight isn't too happy, but it came together.
I saw another excellent question. There was another really excellent question in the chat. Jeremy Peterson says, hey, Jeff, can you address what is unique and special about the Ultimate Collection tier in your campaign?
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you, Jeremy, for checking it out. So first off, what you can get is you get a different edition of the book. That's the only way you can get this. There's only a handful of these that still exist. So that's like one of the big gets. But with the Ultimate Collection,
it's also one of the only ways to get the high council.
and it's the only way to get the High Council. So with that collection, you get 5 books. You get the one I just showed you. You get Anna's cover, the black and white one, the High Council, the Virgin one. So you get 5 total.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get poster prints of all that. Then the trading cards, then stickers, then
T-shirts.
2 T-shirts, and you get art. The only way you can get the advertising for the action figures that don't exist is in this tier. I'm having the art turned into cool little ads like you would get back in the day for toys.
Don't forget one of the coolest pieces, how it all comes.
Oh yeah,
custom backpack, the bag or the bag thing.
No, it's not yet. So so we're working on the packaging. But yes, you get all kinds of you get everything in it.
And your certificate.
And it comes with a certificate of authenticity. So that I wanted to put that in the tier. The next day I was like, oh wait, I forgot to write that in, but I can't go back and edit that. So they're all.
I thought you put something right in the tier about the custom bag that you were gonna do. Okay, I thought you put something.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway, there's custom packaging. There's also extra stuff. Like anytime Jeff's like, "What about this thing?" He's throwing it in there. So even things that aren't in the description, you will also end up with extras in the box.
Well, that's what the like for example, I have some art prints from the first campaign. There you go. You get an art print too, like just extra fun stuff. Like it's everything in there and a little more. So just if you want the covers.
And I'm trying. So I have to edit this video on my phone. So this is part 1. I'm trying to get part 2 because guys, this is all time lapse videos because iPhone has a special where because before I was just filming regular videos, so it would be like a 4-hour video that I would have to upload into like iMovie and then edit it and speed it up and speed it up and speed it up, and it took up a lot of memory. And then I was like, I'm just going to try out the time lapse feature. So it's like 4 hours. Okay, here's 4 hours has turned into 48 seconds, and I have like over 100 of those videos. So I was trying to edit these all, before this started, because I think the last video that I showed before this, it doubled it because, iPhone also updated one of their features where it's like before it wouldn't show you which ones you had clicked on when you went back. So I had to like memorize where they were in my little, where it shows you all of your videos. Mm-hmm. And so now it does. So I'm like, okay, I already got that one. But there's one part where it like shows me repainting Jessi twice. So it looks like I erased it and repainted it, which I didn't do.
Well, that's nice.
But
I'm glad I didn't get erased.
But also before, when it was like the 4-hour videos, I would edit out every time my hand wasn't in the shot. So it was like constant cuts and zooming and all of that. It was hell. And it was absolute hell.
I do like my unfinished
so this is
dead eyes right here.
Yeah.
Just white.
I know sometimes I'm like, it actually kind of looks cool, just not finished.
It does look neat. It makes it look very alien. If I was going to be a horror alien, that's how I'd want to be finished. Just the dead eyes.
A alien? Horror alien?
Horror alien. Alien.
It's so weird watching this though, because folks, I just would get pictures. Like I can show them. But I just have these pictures of like, here's this. I'm like, awesome. Can't wait to see it. And so I'm not trying to be quiet on the stream. I've never seen this like you guys. So I'm like, oh shit, this is how it was made.
Yeah.
What do we talk about? I love how Star Wars was made.
Exactly. We love how
Well, my favorite messages from you, because I'm just like, you're always nervous because this isn't my project. Well, I mean, obviously I worked on it, but I'm doing it for you. Like this is your vision. And I'm just the person that's trying to make that vision become a reality. And so this is what I said, before. I had green and blue for Mahler. And it didn't look right. Like there was something off. And this happens to me all the time. And it's when I need to take a break from a painting or a project I'm working on, is I'm like, there's something wrong with it. I've been working on it for too long and I can't see what it is. And, if I show my boyfriend, he's just like, I think it looks great. And I'm like, that doesn't help me. And I sent it to a bunch of people. Everyone was just responding the same, like, I think it looks great. I think it looks great. And I'm like, but there's something wrong with it. And I think it looks great. It only helps you. Yeah, my ego just got stroked hardcore, but I need it doesn't help me fix the problem. And so I kept repainting Mahler over and over again because obviously I'm blending in colors. So sometimes if something dries to a certain amount on an oil painting, like right now, the background, it's like half dried. So, when paint, it's like, it's wet. And, if you touch it, like the paint will come off completely. Right. But so if it's half dried and then you put like the strokes that I did for Wolf and Rags, you can see those strokes in there, but it blends in a little bit better. So I had to wait like for things to dry a certain amount to add certain things. So you'll see me like repainting certain sections and then blending it in, like kind of like what's going on with Jessi right now. Because obviously she was already painted, then I had to add more. And sometimes I add a little bit to make it darker and whatnot. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so with Mahler, it's like originally I had like the green from like Jeremy's lightsaber and then the blue, and that was the end of that. So that was part one. I'll finish playing this one. So obviously, or we can restart this one. So obviously there's like a big difference how it was green and blue. And then I'm like, no, it's not looking right. Let me add in the red. And then finally it started. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is working. This is working. And then Jeff sent me the trading card of Mahler with like the glowing eyes. And it was one of those moments again where I'm like, oh my gosh, me and the artist, like the other colorist, we haven't met. We've never spoken. He's never seen my work, and I had never seen his work until Jeff sent it to me. And I'm like, he's doing the exact same thing that I'm doing.
Yeah, my dude, his name's February. He is my favorite colorist. I've had a handful. That dude is wonderful. Like here, I'll show you real quick. I got my tablet sitting here. When you talked about like trading card art, like we got, he just does a great job. Where's the Mahler one? I want to show the Mahler one since you brought it up. But like, yeah, I sent a black and white one to the guy, and I mean, look, we ended up getting something that works kind of together.
The glowing eyes.
Yeah. So, yeah, it even looks like it's glowing on the screen.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to figure out my overlays for the cards, like the actual design.
Yeah.
Because I got all the backgroundless files back today too for the magnets and shit.
Oh,
so I
nice.
got everything prepped and ready.
Cool. Very cool.
Like all I'll need to do is just be like, hey, blah blah blah. I need this many magnets printed, please. Here's the artwork.
Huzzah.
I've used them before. They make all my stickers and pins.
Oh, nice.
And those are, you guys
they're
have my
nice, yeah.
stickers, the big ones that Anna has.
Yeah,
too,
they're
has
really
too.
nice. Yeah.
So yeah.
Stickers. I love stickers. I actually, so when I got this new phone, I like to have wallet phones, and they don't have very many. Look at the difference in the camera quality just right there. They don't have very many Star Wars ones. So I just like, what looks like outer space, and this one had constellations, and then I just stuck a Baby Yoda sticker on it to make it Star Wars. Somebody was nice enough to send me 100 Baby Yoda stickers, and I'm like, what am I going to do with all these? And now I'm like, oh, I know.
Well, you're going to have a few more because we got you some from the store. So.
Thank you. I know you. I saw that. And I was like,
We saw it. I was like, oh, we should get that for Anna. And Jeff was like, why don't you? And I was like, I totally should. Getting these. How can
oh my goodness. Well, I'm still getting these ready, but so after I finish editing all of that and getting the video out, I'll be able to post it. And then I think what they did when I was doing the Vampirella Dynamite campaign, they were able to link it in there. I don't know if that's I probably should have asked you guys this off air, but if that's something that you want, you can link to the video of me painting it. Maybe that'll help.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely will.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a little thing for the trading cards this week too, so people know what they look like, because those are I think they're the most popular item. I got to look at the index of everything I sold.
Yeah.
But like people want those so much.
Yeah.
So
who are the two ghosts? So for those of you that don't know, this is Wolf from Dishonored Wolf. He no longer has a channel, but he is part of the original EFAP crew. So this is Mahler. If you haven't seen Mahler's videos and him doing a review of The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker or The Force Awakens, his videos are kind of legendary about that. And they have a show called EFAP. And so I actually found EFAP because of Wolf. And so this is Wolf, Mahler, and then this is Rags. And so the reason why they are on here is because they were, we were all kind of doing our own thing. And then everyone was like, you guys should all hang out and you guys should all meet because you guys are all doing your own thing, but you guys are all talking about the same thing. We all think that you guys would really get along. Well, that's actually how I met Jeremy. That's how I met Jeff. Actually, I found out who Jeff was because I guess you mentioned me in one of your videos and there was an article saying that. So I clicked the article and it took me to your video. I found Jessi because everyone's like, you need to check out Jessi. And I was like, who's Jessi? And then I was like, I've seen those thumbnails of that girl screaming. Okay, let me watch this video.
I bet you out because of Jeremy. Jeremy was like, have you seen this chick? She's like really passionate about Luke Skywalker.
I saw your Luke Skywalker video and I was like, wow. I had said to the guys, I'm like, we should try to stream with her. Like when we first saw the video, and then I don't know what happened. But thankfully, it all worked out. It doesn't matter that we didn't stream that day. We have this.
because we all eventually became friends. And then you guys obviously had your thing.
Yeah.
You deny it all you wanted, but I called it from the moment.
You did. Teasing me.
So the reason, they're on here because they kind of did their own. So this is like the beginning, because when me and Jeff talked about this originally, and we're literally in a parking lot just talking about it. It's like, oh yeah, like, and obviously this was in the works years ago, or 2 years ago now, right?
2019. We were at Celebration. It was just the last day.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the concept that we came up with, and the only one that got like the add in, because I know some people were asking about other people being in there, like, well, we didn't really know them yet, or we hadn't talked to them yet, and so like obviously Tom is now a member of the High Council, so Tom got the honorary add in.
And Tom is literally everywhere on the internet, so why shouldn't he be here too?
Exactly. So it was this is Wolf, Mahler, Rags from the EFAP crew, but that brings into the Toxic Brood and the Fandom Menace. So obviously there's Jeremy and Jeff and Ethan, and I know like Jeremy says like he kind of isn't that big on the Fandom Menace anymore, which is fine. Everyone grows and evolves and does their own thing. Like Ethan stopped making videos for a while because he's like, I gotta draw Cyberfrog, and I'm over here like, where's my frog book, Ethan? Where's my frog book, Pie Man? Give me my frog book. I've been waiting forever.
That's right.
But this is more of like in honor to the origin of where we all started and how we all came together to, just become, this thing that kind of blew up. And the fact that, J.J. Abrams mentioned the Fandom Menace specifically in, an interview, and then how people like, especially when I'm fighting with people, they'll refer to like, oh yeah, the Phantom Menace, and I just like think of the Captain Jack Sparrow thing where it's like, you must be the worst pirate I've ever heard of, and it's like, but you have heard of me, right? That's what I feel we all are. We're all kind of like Captain Jack Sparrow of the internet.
But we're just internet pirates.
I love it.
Exactly.
Well, that's a great way to think of us.
Yeah, so it's a fun collaboration, and I just kind of wanted to do a video with all of us here talking about it, because it's like we kept this secret for so long, and we were working on this damn thing for like over 2 years.
Oh my God, yes. And it was a total secret. It was awesome.
Because I would tell the people like Tom and Mecca, like, here's what's happening, and show them little stuff, and they'd be like, oh, secret's safe with me. Mecca to the point would go, I don't know what you're talking about on air. Like Mecca is a really trustworthy. Like you can tell her shit.
Secrets.
She keeps us a good secret. So yeah, it was hard to keep this under wraps. My mom knew about it, friends knew about it, the guys on the channel knew about it.
Mecca and I swapped. She knew about me and you way before anyone else did. I knew about her and Rob before a lot of people did. So I think that might have been Anna. Was that on one of the streams? Remember back in the day when you and Mecca used to pop onto my crazy late drunk ones, and then we'd like the three of us would sit backstage afterwards?
Yeah. I think we talked off air for a little while, and then
I think she told us one of those nights. Yeah,
she did, and I was over here like, I don't know who that is yet, because I didn't really watch Midnight Edge, but
I'd done her Jackbox streams a couple times at that point, so I'd met Rob, and I'd already seen like they had chemistry then. I was like, oh my God. So it was cute.
Somebody asked, sorry, just tuned in, what medium to use. This is all oil paints. So,
yeah.
It's a medium I would never even attempt to look at.
It was so good though. On the way it came out is just really mind blowing every time
I look at this every single day.
Oh.
So awesome.
And I'm just excited, like how positive the response has been. I mean, how can anyone not like this cover? It looks kick-ass. I mean, I'm not gonna try. Like, I'm happy that I'm a part of just the campaign. I'm like, cool. I didn't draw this one, but I feel like
it looks.
Yeah, I feel like because it's not like my campaign, I haven't seen like any feedback for it, so I'm like, what's going on? So it's like sometimes I have to like go and like stalk something, but it's like because it's all, and I think at one point when I was getting a lot of like the crazies like losing their fucking minds over my Vampirella cover, and I'm talking to you guys because I'm in the middle of painting this, and I'm just like, are you guys sure you still want to do this? Are you sure? Like, because we're going to get like, you guys are going to get all of the fucking crazies that are going after me coming after you guys. And you're like, don't worry about it.
Never worried.
I just let the art speak for itself, and I don't worry about anything else. That's what this is about. This is a an amazing collaboration that we've worked on. I mean, clearly this thing is doing well. This campaign, this stream, Anna, is doing awesome. We're now at 70% of the entire goal.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, it's at 70%. It's
Let's
jumped
see.
up a lot.
Okay, so we're at 2,675 with 445 backers. Let's
refresh it.
Let's see what's up.
I'm trying. Holy crap, $28,075 with 447 backers. Thank you so much, everyone. We are at 70%. Holy crap. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting me, Jeff, and Jessi. And this is exciting. It's crazy.
Oh, thank you, McFrozen Nuggets, and good luck with all your stuff with your channel. I did read your email, and I'm wishing you the best.
Our buddy Mega Jetty 1 rebranded, by the way.
I saw that. I saw he was popping in there.
Yeah, it's like MJ1 Productions.
MJ1
I was like,
Media.
Michael J. Fox? What?
Nice. But yeah.
Michael J. Fox. Anyway, sorry. I didn't go on that tangent.
Anyway, thank you.
You're fine.
It's your sweet.
But Anna, this was such a positive collaboration. I hope we get to do more stuff in the future.
Yeah, you guys, I'll talk about it right now. It's still in the works, but everyone, especially Cecil, has been yelling at me because they're like, you need to do something, you need to do something. And so I'm like, fucking fine, I'll do something. So after, because I was working on this and I'm like, I can't do anything else. I have to get this done. And so I was like, okay, when there was times like when I was really waiting for something to dry, because I'm like, if I fuck this up, which was Mahler. So I'm like, if I get my hand on this and it's smeared, I'm going to fucking lose my damn mind because it's perfect the way it is. Yeah. And so I had to stop. And that's when I had like the time to do the Gina painting, which that one took me almost no time. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say almost no time. It was like 20, 30 hours. But I'm like, I had enough time for that to dry to the amount that I needed to be able to finish this. So I was like, oh, perfect. But so I have, I took notes from everyone, all of the amazing people that are incredibly talented. And so I actually have started working on my own comic.
All right.
I told Jessi the whole story already.
I'm so excited for it.
I was here for that.
You've heard some of it.
Okay, well, I won't say anything, but I know a good chunk too. I'm ready.
Yes.
Well, I told Jessi 2 stories, so it's the bug one. But so here's I don't know if you guys will be able to see it because I have a privacy screen on. So there's like one page which you can't see. Well, I'll try, but it's going to show a reflection because I got the privacy screen on this new phone, and it's like if I tilt it, but this is still a rough.
Oh, it looks cool. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I did very much.
The way I was doing it was I would have like the 2-page layout and I would draw one like storyboard, basically 1 page and then the other page. And it was just really rough scribbles. And then I did a little bit more polished so that way when I sent it to people, they could understand what it was. And so I was sending them to Cecil because Cecil's like my guinea pig for everything. Sure. And he's like, oh, you got 8 pages. And I was like, no, Cecil, those are 2 pages. He's like, you have 16 pages already? Because I was telling him, I'm like, I think it's going to have to be at least 80 pages. And he's like, Annie, you'll never be able to get that done. And I'm like, no, but I was like, but I've already done a lot. He's like, you've only done 8 pages. I'm like, no, those are 2 pages each. But so...
Nice.
Yeah, that's I'm hoping to get at least I think you need like at least to tell a little bit of the story that I'm doing. Maybe like just go those 8 pages completely colored. That way when you scroll through on Indiegogo, and I need to get the cover done for it too. But yeah, that's my next project that I'm going to be working on. I'm really excited. I haven't settled on a name for it yet, just because I feel like my placeholder name, I'm like, I feel like it doesn't do it justice, but we'll see.
I like it though. I mean, it fits, and I definitely think you can go either way with that. I think if you stick with that one, I think it does fit and capture, and it has the right kind of. I like open-ended titles where it picks your imagination, but it also doesn't give anything away. But I also, if you're not satisfied with it, we're happy. We're always happy to be sounding boards as well.
Well, I think what my plan is, because I mean, this campaign is doing well, and we have how many days for it? We have 55 days left. I think I might wait. Well, obviously, I can't do anything until the art is done, but I've been working on it a little bit every day. And now that I kid you not, guys. So I was like, I get this way whenever I'm about to finish a project, as I get to like 90%. And I'm like, I'm grinding. And then when I get to the 90% mark and I'm like, I don't want to fucking touch this anymore. And because it's like, maybe it's my own little bit, but I'm like, I get really sad when I'm about to finish something because I'm like, oh, it's the end of an era. So I have all of these projects that I don't finish, or even when I'm watching a TV show, I won't watch the last season or the last episode because I don't want it to end. And so with this, I'm like, I need to finish it because I'm like, I'm not going to let myself work on anything else until I finish this because I know I get like that and then it'll sit there forever. And so the second I finish this, I'm like, a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I sat down, I watched an episode of Star Trek. I woke Peaches up and I took Tulip for a walk because I finished it at like 3 a.m. And I had given myself like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to, because I think you were texting me and you're just like, oh, hey, like, Jessi needs an image for this. And I'm like, I'll get it to you in the morning. And then I finished it at like 3 a.m. And I'm like, oh, I was expecting to like you waking up, texting me like, hey, where's that image? And me being like, it's almost done.
I just
finished it. And I'm like,
whoa.
Well, I finished it. And then I'm like, I have like 6 hours left. What do I do with all this time? And so obviously, since it was still wet, I had to like take a photo. And then, because for those of you that don't know, oils take an incredibly long time to dry. It's still not dry, actually. So when you try to photograph it, you know, you have to get different angles and then you have to like fix things in Photoshop, which is what I did here. Because, you know, on Mahler, it has this really big glare and like right here, the paint is still wet on the lightsaber and stuff. So when you take a picture of it, it looks like there's, you know, spots.
Yeah.
So I had to fix it a little bit in Photoshop. But I mean, I didn't change any of the artwork. I just had to fix the color from the glare of it. And so I did that and then I sent it to you and I'm like, now I just wait for him to wake up.
The countdown to this campaign was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's like, oh man, I got all this stuff to do, but it was crazy. I got everything done. It just took till the wire, but everything got done in order. We're talking like, I need to go to the bank. I need to do this. I need to do that. And here we are. Fucking 5 days in.
It's awesome.
The thing is, Anna, for me, what this whole campaign is not just, oh, stealing solo again. It's now I can do more stuff in the arts field. Cause like, we're going to do trading cards. We're going to have the sequel to this. The thing is, there's a trilogy of this story, and then that's it. Like, there would be nothing else. There's no, like, more Star Wars parodies in me.
There you go. I did see someone saying something about the shirts. Now, in terms of the quality of these shirts, are you going with, like, you know, hey, you getting an extra perk, and so here it's a crappy cotton shirt, blah, or are you punching up your, what's our shirt? What can people expect from their shirts?
Well, right now I have samples being sent to me from a specific company. So if I like them, then I'll know what's up. But I have to get physical, tangible things from places, or else I'm not going to give them the okay. Like when I got the proof of this book, this is not the proof. This is just another copy. But the proof sits somewhere special because it's like the proof.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to do with these shirts. I'm going to sit there and look at it because I like shit. That's why I want to get into this too, because I like to buy collectibles. So if I'm going to make them cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I can justify action figures, we'll have the best toys ever. But
Damn
until
straight.
then,
That'll be exciting. I know a lot of people that do action figures for their campaign, so I can get you into contact with them. That's one thing that I would like to do with mine too. But I don't think I would do action figures. I think I would do like PVC sets. The way I know everyone hates Disney, but at least they used to be good at making toys. I'll get an example.
I want to do these little PVC figures that Kevin Smith made. They're called like in-action figures, the Clerks ones I showed you.
Yeah.
I'd love to get those made.
Well, see, I would like to do something like this because, even though this is dusty, so Disney doesn't make action figures anymore because I think it's just too expensive and they don't have characters that sell. Yep. But so this is a PVC set, and you know, it's just the figures. It's kind of like cake toppers, but I mean, this is really popular now. And I feel like this is a more inexpensive way to get all of the characters. And, you know, everyone can buy it as compared. Because I know I'm a little cheapskate. So when I look at Ethan's like figures and I'm like, okay, well, actually, that's a little bit. I would expect to pay like $60 to $100 for the Salamandroid instead of 35. So I'm like, that's actually really reasonable. But usually it's like, well, if you're like me and I'm like got super OCD and I need to have all of them, it's like that can add up real fast when each figure is like $25 to $30.
Anna.
So this is like, you know,
dude, I got a collection of action figures where each figure's $90, and I have no end because it's the X-Men from Japan, and I got Cyclops, Wolverine, and Gambit so far, and Psylocke.
Yep, it's true.
Oh, and we got Batman. Okay, this is how cool our relationship is. We have a couple's Hot Toys gifts coming, Anna. We have couples Batman and Robin from Batman Forever.
I'm really excited.
Oh my god, you guys are dork.
Yeah, that's our couples movie. That or
well, aren't you guys cool?
Star Wars is the real answer.
Yeah,
like
you know what I just did because my Hot Toys David Bowie statue.
Cool. Fuck yeah!
I'm so fucking pissed about that. So I was like, what else can I buy? And then I magically got this email that this wait list I had been on for a while. It's like, oh, you can now buy this. And it was Gandalf the Grey. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm buying it.
Hey, if you're ever on Sideshow, just do me a favor. Look up the Statue of the Rock. I bought that, and it's this giant shipping box that inhabits our background at all times.
It's true.
I can't wait to move so I can finally put it somewhere.
We haven't even opened it.
With Ship Pancake, I can't trust the Rock around Ship Pancake. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I ordered Gandalf the Grey, and then I got Galadriel. I really want to get, because I was thinking, I'm like, what can I get? And they have Aragorn, because Aragorn's my favorite character.
He is.
But they have him from Helm's Deep, which I like, but the figure isn't exactly what I want. You know, I feel like there's something lacking. So I'm like, you know what? If I get him, I kind of want him in all of his glory. So I'm hoping that they come out with the Return of the King version of him. Because it's kind of weird because they have Galadriel and Gandalf from the Fellowship, and then they have him and Faramir from the Two Towers. And so I'm like, what's going on? But I want Arwen. I don't really care what outfit she's in. I just hope it looks pretty. But I don't know. Maybe it's just my affinity for elves. So I was like, I want to get the elves. So I was like, you know what? I'll just get Galadriel and Gandalf. And because this figure of Aragorn's not really speaking to me, I'll wait.
I would want Fellowship Aragorn. I like the Strider look. That was my favorite.
He does have a good look in that. That's what I was kind of thinking, Jessi, because I'm like, this Helm's Deep one isn't exact, because I mean, even his hair, because Gandalf has actual hair, so does Galadriel, and Aragorn's like got the fake hair, and so I was like, maybe they're gonna come out with a Fellowship version, because then I'm like, oh, I could get the Fellowship, Elrond and Arwen and Aragorn. So I was like, maybe I could get all of those.
Yeah,
I'm waiting and I'm holding out, but I have Galadriel and I have Gandalf. So I'm like, if anything, I could just have them, and I'm like, okay, this is the magical. This is before everyone else was born. Version of them.
I would love a Gandalf Shadowfax one.
They haven't made that one yet. Oh my goodness! I'll send. Hopefully they have that. I've been on this wait list for Padme forever because I want to have Padme.
If someone ever does make a Gandalf Shadowfax, a good one, let me know, because that's something I would.
I will. I was gonna say. I was like, if the second they release that, I'll send it to you. But off of the subject of Hot Toys, here we are, all painted. But is there anything else that we need to cover?
I think we got it all, really. I mean, I'm down to talk about whatever you'd like, but I think we hit the nail on the head. People are finding the project; they're backing it. Just so everyone knows, every 100 backers, that adds another little magnet of a fandom menacer from the trading card art. And, you know, once we run out of those tiers, there's even more. But I'm just saying, like, we covered everything. I'm really excited. I'm happy, humbled by the success, and I'm really excited to do more. You know, I love comics. It's fun.
Oh, you guys are gross. Yeah, and it's I'm happy that this damn painting is fucking done.
Yes.
I worked on this for a long time, but everyone, this stream is going to be re-uploaded onto my live stream, which is that Star Wars Girl Live. I know I'm always late on re-uploading things, but that's because those things take forever to fucking download because they're always hours long. But that's where you find like my re-uploads with me and Jessi from the Matriarchy. Kitty Cat.
Lando says, hi, kitten. This is Lando. He's one of our 2 older boys. Yes.
He's a surly guy.
He is grumpy all the time. He's the one. If you ever hear somebody like growling and screaming in the background, that's Lando. But, he loves the love.
There he goes.
He loves the love.
He's giving in already.
Yes.
Well, so if you guys are interested in backing this project, here it is. The link is right here. It is also in the description of this video, but just in case, I put the link there. And my awesome mods have been posting this, so thank you so much, mods. I sincerely appreciate you. And so, yeah.
Don't forget, not only did Anna paint this cover, but it wasn't a commission-based painting. Anna's actually getting a cut of the campaign itself. So if you want to support her, backing the campaign directly supports her as well. So
well, thank you for that. Yeah. Usually when you have stuff like this, either the artist will give somebody a flat rate or they are able to work out a percentage. So Jeff was kind enough to offer me a percentage. So I would be stupid not to take that. So that is how it is working.
I just thought, like, 1, you're my friend, so that's important to me. But 2, if you're going to not only paint this, but help me with this way, I feel like we're doing this together. So it's only fair that way. So that's why I pitched it like that, because that's just, if I was in a situation like this, I'd love to, so that's what I'd want. So treat people the way I want to be treated.
Thank you. Also, I don't think I've asked, what does your mom think of the finished project?
She loves it. Anna, I showed her that picture. Remember when you had finished my face a couple months ago and I said, hey, I'm going to show this to people? I showed it to my mom. She's not only, she loves the poster, she loves the campaign and all that fun stuff, but she goes nuts seeing somebody draw me. She's like, oh, my little boy's famous. He's on a cover. I'm like,
I put myself
in my own comic, Mom. Like, but, but yeah.
Because I remember I would, you're like, my mom loves it. And so I was like, I don't think I know what, like, with your mom, like, how did your mom feel about this, the whole thing when it was done?
She, every day, she just goes, honey, it's wonderful. Like, I talked to her. She saw every piece of line art. She saw every piece of colored art come back, this, that. And she saw every iteration of the painting. And every time she's like, honey, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, this cover, Anna, is amazing. Hundreds of people agree. Already.
I wanted to say hi.
More will. So.
Tulip's here to say hi.
Hello, Tulip.
Hi, Tulip. Oh, hi, Tulip. Oh, hi, Princess. How are you?
By the way, Holocron Library Fox, thanks for all the plugs tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for all the link dropping. You're an awesome mod. Are you modded on my channel?
Holocron Library is an awesome mod.
You can be a mod on my channel too if you'd like. Just remind me in the chat. I'm always looking for a good one.
Yeah,
and I see you in the chat too, so it's not like a strange listener.
No, we love you. We know you. We love you. You're the best. That's actually the only reason I'm here is to get my links plugged as well. So.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, on my teeny tiny little channel.
Exactly. We're getting about as many viewers as one of my live streams regularly gets. That's why I'm over on Live It now. So.
Oh, how is Live It going?
Good. I got a contract now.
Ooh, yay! Congratulations. Good for you.
I'm excited.
Oh, looking at this like from the old, I'm just like, oh my god, hell. Hell ensuing from back then.
Getting the flashbacks.
You know what, Anna, though?
Be like,
I am.
Y'all don't know what PTSD is. Like, this is PTSD.
Look, Anna, when this reaches the goal, we decide to do another one. What we'll do is we'll figure out a really good size for you so you don't have to ever
do the teeny tiny
details or the squinting.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Sorry. I will be. You guys talk for a minute.
Yeah, we got you. So while this is moving, I gotta say, I watch a lot of speed art videos, and I've made a lot of mistakes because I watch them and I internalize that's how quick it goes. So what I've done over the last couple of years as an artist is to slow down intentionally because I watch shit like this, and they're like doing all this perspective, and I'm like slowing it down to watch the graphs and all the shit they use and the tools.
Yeah,
time has been my greatest asset because remember how I told you all the issues with inking and like my goals with it, and that's what happened. But I do love these as a viewer. We watch them when we're hanging out.
We do.
The colored pencil ones, those blow my mind.
I love it all.
I like Slick Rick. I like your idea, dude.
What did Slick Rick say? And it should do a Super Sim Gavel painting stream here. Yes. Oh my God. Obviously.
Holocron Library Fox. You will be on my channel for sure.
Just
remind me during the High Council.
Ooh, this Tuesday I'm having a comedian on, Max Ziegfeld. So he's gonna be super fun. I gotta make my thumbnail for that. I'm gonna punch it up. Start putting that out there tomorrow.
Guys, check him out. He might do a graphic novel one day or something.
That's true. You might see there might be a collaboration with him and Jeff.
I will say he's hilarious.
He's so funny. He's be telling jokes all night as well as just.
Fire back. I
was just telling people, and on Tuesday night I'm having a comedian on my show, Max Ziegfeld. You can look him up. He's gonna, he'll be telling jokes and hanging out and having a grand old time. So he's wrote a porno. Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Anna should do a super simp Cavill painting stream on here to get this channel blowing up more. I think once my art videos, once I get more like time lapse and stuff and it's more informative, because I kind of want to keep this channel either my learning process, like the Warhammer stuff, because somebody sent me those, like I think specifically so I would paint them and record videos for it. So I'll do those, but then with stuff like this, I kind of like the tutorial aspect of it, like explaining this is my process, this is why I chose this and this, that way other people can improve on their craft. And if they want my 2 cents on what I've learned, this is where they can do that. And so that's what I'm going to try to keep this channel. But my super simp stuff, that's over on my main channel. If you want to go see me be a super simp for Cavill, go over there. Also, though, I think Geeks and Gamers, that crew, they are having Zack Snyder on their channel for a charity stream. And so, yes, donate to the charity, but can please you guys spam the chat to ask Zack Snyder questions about Henry for me, please, and thank you.
Nice.
I don't think they think I'm serious. I think they think I'm joking, but I'm like, if you have Zack Snyder on a stream, 1, that man has Henry Cavill's phone number. 2, I mean, if Henry isn't playing WoW, he might answer that man's phone call. But just ask. I just want to know about Henry. Ask Zack Snyder questions about Henry for me, please and thank you. Yeah, just everyone go spam the chat. Yes, I like this. Anna's a comment stealing Cavill. If I had Henry Cavill tied up in my basement, it would be a much different story than what Jeff. Jeff's story is.
It's not a 1-to-1, reimagining, but hey.
And yes, it's not on the Geeks and Gamers channel. It's on Uche's channel. I think that was just to be a little bit more diplomatic with the haters and stuff.
Is that happening now?
It's not happening now. I think I don't know what day it's happening.
Someone posted a link. So I was wondering. All right. What's his channel called? Is it just his name?
Let's click the link and see.
Yes, it is.
It is. Oh, it's in 9 days. Right. Okay. And so, yes, it's for charity. Yeah, it's just Uche. It's Uche's channel. So it's going to be over there. And, yeah. So that's where they're having the Zack Snyder interview. I think it's going to be Lethal Lightning, Ryan, Uche, and then I'm not sure if Jeremy's going to be on it or not. I think that you were saying that he was, but I don't know. I only recently found out about this, like today. So I don't have all the information. I think they announced it on Friday Night Tights, but I have been indisposed this weekend, and my whole feed on Twitter has just been the stupid Star Wars rock shit. So I saw like Ryan stream about this earlier, and I'm just like, ask about Henry for me. You have Zack Snyder on, and everyone's teasing me because like a lot of Comicsgate people know Henry or can get in touch with him super simply. Like Ethan, if I wanted to push the limits of our friendship, I could probably pester Ethan to get somebody's, because Ethan was like saying, oh yeah, this one guy, like I know him, I can call him up and he knows Henry and he could get you his number. And I'm like, I don't want to test our friendship and I don't want to push the limits of it, but I'm like, they literally have Zack Snyder, so everyone's teasing me. They're like, Anna, you could literally get in touch with Henry. Like, all of these people know all of the right people to get you in touch with him. And I'm like, what do I do with my life? What do I do with my life? I don't know.
You should
What
just.
do I do, Jessi?
Well, you should probably follow the avenues available to you, and ask Henry Cavill on a date.
It's like, hi Henry, I have a boyfriend, but I think you're super smexy.
Look, it's just dinner.
I said that word wrong.
It's just dinner. You know,
Oh, yeah, totally.
the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, let me pull up that back. But so yes, that was me geeking out with my girliness too. The fact that all of these people that I know are going to be in contact with people that have direct contact with Cavill. So I just ask. Find out as everyone in the chat, if you are watching that stream, just go ask a ton of questions about Henry. Just spam the chat with Henry Cavill.
Hey, Anna, did you see the newest Henry Cavill action figure and how terrible it looks? It's based off of Superman from the Snyder Cut.
Oh,
I think I did.
It is not good.
It's a joke.
It is not.
Is it the McFarlane toy one?
Yep.
Then you know.
Yeah, I think it's the I honestly, McFarlane toys are actually a really big hit and miss for me.
He is, if somebody's like, Jeff, who's like your icon in this business shit, like him, he's the best. But I'm with you. His toys can be the coolest things ever, or like, especially with like licensed branded stuff that they're trying to get the likeness for. Like he couldn't get Gal Gadot.
Oh, is it this the 2-pack one?
Maybe. I just saw pictures of them all separately.
Okay, then it might not be this one because I clicked on news, but let me go to shopping. I think that one was from. Is it the black one or the
black?
The $44 one? Oh no, that's a statue. You'll have to send it to me, but
I'll send it to you later. Yeah,
I saw the Red Sun Superman one. I thought that one was cool, but I didn't think that one was based on Henry. Because usually when it's something that's like Henry related, I have to buy it. As not creepy as that could possibly sound. I did just get a Witcher action figure in today, but it's the video game Witcher. I just saw it and thought it was cool. Because, yeah. But everyone's saying very nice stream. So thank you guys. Yes, we're getting off topic from the stream. It's been going for over an hour and 30 minutes. So I appreciate everyone that was here. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. This is going to be re-uploaded onto my secondary channel. That's Star Wars Girl Live. So make sure that you check it out here. If you are not subscribed to this art channel, please go ahead and smash the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Jessi and Jeff's channels are linked in the description of this video, so make sure you subscribe to them. And guys, is there anything you guys want to show outside of this?
I just want to say, everyone, thank you that's already backed it. People in the chat, thank you. Anna, thank you for being a part of it and everything. And yeah, Tuesday I have videos. The channel's not gonna go dormant because of this campaign, so just keep watching the channel. We're making fun of the Rock character soon.
And yeah, you can check out on my channel right now. I have an interview series up with Academy Award-winning editor Richard Chu, that guy who worked on that movie we like, that Star Wars movie from 1977 that we really like. Yeah, he just did stuff for that and won an Academy Award for it, and is for some reason talking to me and just telling me these incredible stories about his life and his filmography. And have you had a chance to listen to the third one yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, it might be the best one so far. Honestly, the Star Wars one is incredible, but this one, some of the stories are just incredible. So yeah, that's over there on the channel now, and then follow me over on Live It. So that's there. Those links will be everywhere soon. You'll see them everywhere.
That sounds great. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Everyone, also thank you so much for backing this campaign. It means the world to all of us. And if you have any feedback on this, let me know it, because I don't see most of it. So I would honestly really like to know what everyone thought of this painting. That's the one thing about not having it tied to any of my stuff, is it's like, when you get posted video, you can read all the comments. I'm like, I don't know what people think about this. It's not a fucking temper tantrum like with the Vampirella cover. So I'm like, I guess that's a good thing. But let me know. But everyone, Jessi, thank you so much for being here. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being here. This will be re-uploaded on my secondary channel, that's Star Wars Girl Live. And until next time, everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone.
I'll tell you where I thought I came in.
In the forest, when the lightsaber goes like this and flies off, I said, oh, what a great entrance. Ah! Ray caught it? She hasn't even